There is a certain set of political people who can get everything wrong all the time, and they somehow survive. I would say you could go back to my track record. My track record is pretty solid.
My personal belief is that I think this thing's going to go on for another month, maybe 2 months. I've been saying for months. I think he really is just trying to get through maybe 3 debates and shift the dial that much that then he's going to be the attack dog for whoever the real candidate is. I think he kind of likes Kasich. I think maybe he likes Rubio, and then he'll be the attack dog, and then they'll just be the, you know, the nice guy candidate.
You don't expect he'd do a third party.
I don't think he really wants to be president. He's just playing us. You know what I mean?
Okay, so all right, so wait, so it's time for predictions because I only got like 2 or 3 minutes left. So look, I said a year ago I don't think this blue wave is going to happen. I just see too much exposure of these bad ideas to really believe that. Now, and the media can't quite get it, which shows you how archaic they are. My suspicion would be that there is I'm not going to call it a red wave. I just, you know, we don't need these silly labels on all these things. But I suspect that the Republicans will do better. The Democrats kind of get crushed. Make this thing work in Canada. We need that, what you're presenting. So if you've got anybody, can you send them our way when you're done with this thing?
Don't deal.
There's some new information we can share with you now. You just saw it. Jaime Batiste is elected, but this is the big story. Maxime Bernier has lost his own riding.
Lisa, the dairy farmers will be throwing champagne in the cattle feed tonight.
So there's no way they're going to accept the election this time, and I do think Trump's going to win, most likely in a landslide. Trump is going to win, and he's going to win in a bigger way than he won last time. Sounds crazy, but Trump's going to get 30% of the black vote, and they know it, and that's why they're freaking out. I tweeted about a year ago that Trump's going to get 30% of the black vote. That's an insane. No one in their right mind would say that.
Support was 15%.
15%.
15% approval.
Yeah, I'm guessing it could be around 30%. I think that 30% is going to break very hard to Trump. That's not going to show up in the polls because they won't say it in the polls. All right.
So you think it's a possibility that he could still be president?
Oh, absolutely.
You do?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, why not? First off, let me say that I don't think this thing's over yet. I don't either. I really don't. The fact that Giuliani's leading this thing, this guy wins. He knows how to win. He knows how to fight. We talked about the mafia thing already. Like, he knows how to do this thing. So Powell, who you know, was the lead lawyer on the Michael Flynn stuff. It's like,
really up on this stuff.
Yeah. So like, these are true fighters who have really done things over the years. It seems to me he did not get this far without thinking, what is the final boss in the video game? And the final boss was the election. It seems odd to me that the guy who got everything right, pulled the mask off all of these people for 4 years, only to get to the end of the game, the big boss, if we're in a video game, right? He got to the end of the movie, and he didn't have a weapon in his pocket. He didn't have some. It's like at the end, you're at the end of the movie, you're at the end of the video game, the big boss, and he didn't have a secret weapon. He didn't think that the entire machine was going to come down on him in the way that it has. The silver lining, I think, is that because he has beat them systematically, or systemically, depending on which way you like it, I don't think he came this far to know that at the end, you're at the final boss of the video game, that he didn't have a secret weapon. I think he probably knows things. There's a moment happening in California right now. And as they say, as goes California, goes the country. Everyone in the last couple weeks that approaches me about the election, they say the same thing. Do you think Larry has a chance? My answer is always yes, right? Like, there is a chance. Like, there is energy, there is pushback, like, it's here, he's the right guy. Does Larry have momentum? Yes. Are the people sick of Gavin Newsom? Yes. Does anyone like Gavin Newsom? No. Do a lot of people like Larry Elder? Yes. Think about what's happening in America right now. Basically, all of America, except the progressives, want there to be a black governor of California. There's such on-the-ground support that the media will never cover that this does feel a little bit to me like Trump 2016. If it's Gavin Newsom, Barack Obama, and Kamala Harris, and now Joe Biden versus Larry Elder, me, and Scott Baio,
I like our chances. We're going to be all right.
And look, if it's me and Scott Baio and Larry Elder versus Gavin Newsom, Barack Obama, and Kamala Harris, I like our chances. I really do. So bring it, guys.
Because the Associated Press has now just called it. You see the numbers on the bottom of your screen. You see the check mark there, 67.3, 32. Yes, that means that Gavin Newsom will not be recalled. The Associated Press has now called it.
I really think Zeldin is going to win in New York. That's the one that I think is the big one, okay?
We can also project that New York Governor Kathy Hochul will win her first full term in office, defeating Republican House Congressman Lee Zeldin.
It is almost beyond imagination that Fetterman could win, okay? So I think Oz will win there. I have a lot of hope for Oz because I feel like he's sort of cut from my cloth.
Here it is. Fox News can project that Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman will win the Pennsylvania Senate race over Dr. Mehmet Oz.
I do think Blake Masters is going to win in Arizona, as well as Kari Lake. Kari Lake, who I think of all of the people is sort of the real lock out of these guys for tomorrow. She has just become a media all-star. She is just laying it out with these nonsensical questions.
Midterms. Fox News projects Democrat Katie Hobbs will defeat GOP candidate Kari Lake out in Arizona for that gubernatorial race.
There it is. We are now projecting that Mark Kelly is the projected winner in the Arizona Senate race. Mark Kelly being reelected to a 6-year term.
Like, I really think the Senate, it could end up 54 Republicans. I know that's bullish. I'm very bullish on something like 54 in terms of the Senate for Republicans. I really am.
Raphael Warnock has won the runoff in Georgia 4 weeks after we held the midterms in 2022. The Senate, Democrats at 51, Republicans at 49.
And, as you know, it's possible that the Republicans are going to win a Senate seat in Washington State.
Thanks. The Republican Party needs to do a really deep introspection look in the mirror right now, because this is an absolute disaster for the Republican Party, and we need to turn back.
I suspect Tudor Dixon is going to take down Gretchen Whitmer after all the COVID lockdown insanity.
So we can project that Michigan Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer will prevail over Republican Tudor Dixon in that Michigan race.
Nevada, what's the guy's last name? Laxalt. Let's say he wins it. Let's say
you know he was DeSantis' roommate in college. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
There it is. That's the check mark.
Oh, wow.
Catherine Cortez Masto declared by our decision desk the winner of the Nevada Senate race with Catherine.
It's in the mirror now. It's in the back mirror, and we can say, "Ayo, see you later." Ayo, see you later. And I really think there's a chance. And as I keep saying, we just got to get to a point where in America we can look in that back mirror and say, "Ayo, see you later." Enough of her. Her reign of terror is almost over. I'm telling you, she's got a chance to lose this election. She really does. I think there's a chance we're not going to have much more with her. I think she could lose this election. I think anything is possible. That is how frustrated and sick of the woke people are. There's going to be this massive red wave, and that's partly why Biden is using the scary imagery. So the Democrats know they're in for an ass a whooping. That's what they're in for.
And there wasn't a red wave.
You're going to vote for the Republicans.
I
right?
want Ron DeSantis to be president.
I know, but it's going to be Trump.
We don't know.
Well, 41. So he's going to make up 41 points?
41 points. I mean, I look at these polls. Like, the polls are from 700 people via text.
Okay, who's lying
over the course
now?
of 2 weeks.
Who's lying now? You think DeSantis is going to beat Trump for the nomination?
So, Michael, George Santos is having a better year than Ron DeSantis. Okay, DeSantis is throwing spaghetti against the goddamn wall.
Look, I am still hopeful for the presidential election, as I have said, and I know no one else in conventional wisdom is saying it. I don't know why Kim Reynolds, a super popular governor of Iowa, decided to throw in with a guy that we're supposed to believe is 50 points down, who just went to all 99 counties and everything else in Iowa. I think Iowa is going to surprise people. I really do.
Donald Trump once again. Well, let's take a look at the results in detail. Donald Trump scored a landslide victory to kick off the Republican primary race, securing a 51.1% share of votes. Ron DeSantis is projected to finish in second place at just over 21%, edging out rival Nikki Haley, who's sitting at 19%. This map of Iowa counties shows the scale of Trump's victory.
That list of people that we got, which included Tim Scott and Marco Rubio and Doug Burgum, and who else was on that list? Byron Donalds, J.D. Vance. There's about 5 or 6 people. My gut feeling is that it's not going to be someone on that list. And Trump is just a master at switching things at the last minute. Oh, I'm supposed to fire one person, I'll fire 2 people. So he's even doing that. It's that skill set that he's doing with all of us right now as it pertains to VPs. The base wants JD, but I don't see how you go to the base. Like, I just saw Tulsi Gabbard speak at the Nixon Library tonight. Honestly, just between you and me, what do you think of her chances of becoming VP? Is this, can we broadcast this directly to Misty? Misty, this is just me and you right now. I would say they're pretty good. You know what? Here we go. I'm going to make a bold statement. Michael, I'm going to make a bold statement today. Bold statement. Here we go. If Joe Biden is sworn in on January 20th, 2021, and he completes a 4-year term, actually completes a 4-year term, I will retire. I will retire at the end of that term. That will be it. I will disappear in just over 4 years. 4 years and about a month and a half. That'll be it. That's how convinced. I will just disappear from public life altogether. I will delete all of my accounts, and then you'll never hear from me again. That's how convinced I am that it ain't gonna happen. He will not be president for 4 years. He either won't be president at all because of the election fraud and all that kind of stuff, which, by the way, is gaining momentum. We're not even really covering it that much today, but it is actually gaining momentum. And Giuliani was at a hearing in Arizona today. They found some really bizarre stuff with these these late night 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. vote dumps. I think in Pennsylvania, Rand Paul was tweeting about it this morning. I mean, there's just some stuff going on, but I do not think that one way or another, Joe Biden will not be president for 4 years. Anyway, so am I a wizard? Do I have a magic 8 ball? Am I from the future? I don't think so. All I am not, I'm just not a completely brain dead moron.
David, that sounds ridiculous.